Yo, what is up folks, TripCG here, and today we're taking a look at Merfolk in Explorer. That's the MTG Arena Pioneer equivalent format. This deck itself is symmetrical across both pretty much. There aren't really any changes between the two, and so hey, I've not covered it in a little while. It's been doing actually reasonably well online recently, and it's one of the things I was considering for this season of Pioneer RCQs. There are a couple of like recent changes, I guess, and so I wanted to cover it and kind of refresh the last video I posted on it. So at one, firstly, 4 copies of Mistcloaked Herald and 2 copies of Mistway Spy. These are both evasive or mana 1/1s. You can buff them up with your lords. We've got Mistbinder up here, Hexcatcher up here, but importantly, it gives you a way to keep triggering Deeproot Pilgrimage to keep going wide. That's kind of like the reason for all the evasive stuff. There are some more interactive 1 mana ones that you can play, but realistically, they're quite narrow, and I thought this is actually a pretty good way to play into the upside of the deck and kind of play more into what the deck's trying to do. 4 copies of Simic Scout. I wanted to have 10 1-drops, so these were actually the priority, and then these were kind of the afterthought. Simic Scout is just so good. Just exploring, it's either drawing you a land, and this deck uses its mana very, very well, or hey, a 1 mana 2/2, just immediately, hey, that sets attack through everything as well. Especially when you start playing Lords off the back of it. So 10 1-drops to try and be consistent, always having one on turn 1. 4 copies of a Deeproot Pilgrimage. 1 in a blue enchantment, whenever 1 or more non-token Merfolk you control become tapped, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. This is why we're playing like all these evasive 1-drops. It's one of the kind of engine cards of the deck, and is given like a bunch of power to Merfolk in general. We've got a few different ways to trigger. Obviously, attacking is one. We've got a couple of Smuggler's Copters down here. I also want to note at this point that we are playing Collected Company, and that means we are somewhat limited in the number of non-creature spells we can play. So I'm going to run through the non-creature spells first. The 2 Smuggler's Copter, Evasive Attacker, which is a problem that the deck can kind of run into. We've got, again, a bunch of things to crit with. Gives you some card filtering, which is great, and Evasive Attacking, just really, really solid. Smuggler's Copter is good. That's it. 3 copies of Make Disappear. Interaction, you're kind of like thinking like maybe why am I playing this over the new blue counter spell? And the reason why is the Casualty ability. Being able to sacrifice a creature, maybe it's just a Merfolk token, to make them pay 4 to make this spell more relevant in late games if the game goes long, is actually really, really good, and it's better than the ability to like maybe spend 4 mana to make a 2/2 later on in the game. The actual creatures then, we've got 2 lords. Merfolk Mistbinder, blue-green, 2/2, other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. We've got a bunch of Merfolk, we're trying to go wide with Deeproot Pilgrimage, and so hey, awesome. Vidalian Hexcatcher is another lord, but with a pretty cool ability. It has flash, so it can kind of surprise some things. But sacrifice a Merfolk, cannot target non-creature spell unless the controller pays 1. This is particularly powerful. We can go wide with Deeproot Pilgrimage, make a bunch of tokens, and then just shut down any kind of combo stuff that our opponent's doing, or disrupt all their removal. Really, really powerful. I've also like kind of like messed around with a mono blue version of this deck, but where I'm at the minute, like the Scout, the Branch Walker, these Explore effects, and then also just being able to play an extra Lord. I mean, a company. There's a lot of incentives of playing green. Even if you want to play like a more like straight up tempo game plan, you can maybe go mono blue if you want to. There's enough resources I think that both could be good. But hey, Branch Walker, the last thing at 2 is the one I just mentioned. 2 mana 2/1 explores. It's a bigger Simic Scout. Just really, really solid. It's kind of between this and Silvergale Adept. Sometimes you're not going to have an extra Merfolk to reveal, especially with this number of non-creature spells. There'll be times when you're playing the card and like, hey, now my Silvergale Adept costs 5 mana. Oops. Then at 3, it's kind of a balance here again. 3 Shana's Tidebinder, and this is kind of splitting space with Make Disappear. Tidebinder is awesome. 2 in a blue, 3/2 with flash. Obviously, we can also hit Alpha Company, but hey, when it enters the battlefield, counter up to 1 target, activate or trigger ability. If an ability of an artifact, creature, or planeswalker is countered this way, they lose it until Shana's Tidebinder leaves the battlefield. This, the Make Disappears, the Hexcatcher, the deck is super, super disruptive. We don't have a ton of creature removal, or really any, but we're trying to kind of go wide to be able to kind of like deal with problematic creatures. It leaves us like a little weak to Marley, but we still have interaction with the Make Disappear. We can still kind of like counter their companies, we can counter their quarter callings, return the ranks, and hey, we've got a lot there. Plus, Tidebinder. We can turn off one of the creatures. Like, hey, we have some stuff, it's just not perfect. And lastly, the last creature there, Kamina, Tyrant Araska, 1 green blue, 2/4, tap and untap Merfolk you control. Again, it can't be blocked, which is nice to push through some damage, especially if you've got a Lord in. Tap 3 untap Merfolk creature, Merfolk you control to draw a card, or tap 5 untap Merfolk to put a counter on each Merfolk you control. It's really nice. I didn't want to go all in on this because it is legendary, and it is 3 mana, so it's quite expensive, and it can kind of clunk up your hand. However, unblockable damage is good, especially with Deeproot Pilgrimage, the ability to go wide, draw some cards. Like, make some tokens, tap, pump your team, and then like prep for a big swing. Just really, really good in the deck. And then 4 copies of Collected Company. The mana base. This is kind of like affecting some of the changes kind of in the deck. One thing as well is that we're playing Gigant in the sideboard. There are some cards in Merfolk that lock you out of this. I've made the decision, the way we've constructed our deck, to be like, with enough disruption that we don't really need to add any more. And playing into Tidebinder to kind of like turn off creature abilities is a more consistent way than the... Is it Tripbinder? Not Tripbinder. There's another 2 mana Merfolk which is blue-blue, and that's what's normally cutting off Gigantha. But I decided to opt out of that here. It makes the mana a little bit better as well. 3 Cabinet Souls, just awesome addition to the deck. Uncountable Merfolk, great versus control, yada yada. 2 Mutavaults. I'm only playing 2, we still have to be a little worried about cards. And like, we still want to be able to cast like Tidebinder on time. We want to be able to double spell with these. 2 Yavimaya Coast, 4 Breeding Pool, 4 Botanical Sanctum, 3 Bark Shadow Pathway, which is also a little bit of a liability. With like, trying to double spell and get these all down, because you're having to commit to the side with us. And then 1 Otawara and 1 Island. Islands to find if you get fielded with your Caverns and Mutavaults. I don't need to play it. And then Otawara is just the best. Okay. So, we're going to take this into some best of 1 Explorer ranked. Wish me luck. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, and let's get into some games. Alright, first match with Merfolk. I just say as well, like, the choice I made with the, you've got no 1-drop, which is kind of the whole point. We have a bunch of good 2s, got Company. And we have Pilgrimage. Honestly think I'm going to mulligan this because we don't have pressure. The idea is that we can like put some pressure into play early and then get Disruption online. This looks better. I think I honestly put Kamina back. Yeah. The double Hex Catch is actually pretty... We're just going to reveal here and we'll go Merfolk. Alright, blue-white. Well, Supreme Verdict is uncounterable. There's a question. I'm going to show you the Mutavault now, and I think I will just main phase this. We'll get extra clock in. Alright. Yeah, the Multi 6 isn't great versus blue-white, but okay. Alright, Timeline is pretty solid here. I'm just going to make a... So, this turn they can have... okay. I guess if they have lock damage, counter it. Or binder it either way. Yeah, hold this up one around, bro. I actually think it's correct to main phase this, which is kind of crazy. But, here we are. I guess, like, very, very unlikely that they have March. And this plays into their turn 3 pretty well. There's not many things they can have on turn 3 that can punish us for this play. Even if we want to flash this in, we should just take the extra couple of points. Okay. And now we have like a Trick Binder for nonsense. Just gonna attack here. The other thing is if they have a Verdict, we have the Mutavault, we can then end step the Timebender. Like it's not the end of the world. God. Yeah. Lord is lethal here. Optra is not, but it's pretty good. We can do this and then also grab Gigantha. What do we play Copter? Playing Copter probably better. Means creature gives us another attacker off the top. Any creature on deck. As I say, if they like main phase Wandering Emperor, they die here. If they're bland, but hey. Alright, there is a Mutavault. Gonna wait. We do also unfortunately have the basic island in play, which sucks. Alright, then they have 3 mana. What do we got? They have like March or Get Lost, right? Some options. Seems right to do it on their turn. We're gonna cast this and crew up. They have another one, then we're in trouble, but we do in fact get there. Alright, second match. We have a bunch of 1-drops, kind of like 1-drop flooded almost, but with company, we've got certain scouts to find the lands, we're gonna absolutely keep this. We kind of like look at making a decision here whether we want to go turn 1. Well, I want to Herald. Basically how we want to sequence these. This feels like a weird thing to think about, but I'm gonna scout first. Reasonable chance our opponent doesn't play a 1-mana creature. If the scout does hit a non-land card, it's a 2/2 and then can attack through any creature. This is the worst situation where they have a creature and it's bigger. We can make a scuffed attack maybe. But it's on blue. And if we get to ambush the Soul Skull Mage, we'll absolutely ambush the Soul Skull Mage. But, hey. Sure. I'm gonna play Scout here. I'm just gonna deploy our other 1-drops. I'll put the other Scout in the bin. We want to hit another land for Collector Company. And, yeah. That's fine. The problem with the other play, like, the problem with making one of these, it just leaves us so vulnerable. We're not really, like, progressing a ton. Removing these is not super significant. But it's, like, pretty big loss when we can have a couple of creatures in play when we play a Lord and just lose it. Which we are very likely to, like, they're gonna have some removal. We might still lose with creatures. Like, if they're using, like, Wizard's Lightnings on 1-drops, I think we're feeling pretty okay about that. A Hexcatcher here. So we want a company next turn. So I think it makes sense to play the Hexcatcher. 19. I'm trying to think how valuable is having it as a trick. Let's name Merfolk. Again, like, after last game, like, hey, you kind of want to manipulate this sometimes. But, I think this is fine. I'm gonna attack here as well. The thing is, like, if they point something at the Hexcatcher, it's kind of okay. Depending on what it is. Wizards of Lightning, fair enough. Again, we're like coming at us for 2/3. Our main thing we want to do here is Collector Company play. We're going to clear our board. Then again, this is not like, again, progressing them someplace particularly good. I play this on the side. I'm just going to pass. And now they have to play Collector Company. We should at least be thinking about it. Lando's pretty awkward. They know we could easily have some fast creatures as well. We've already shown them the Hexcatcher. We'll try and ambush this. This in particular is pretty decent. Grab the 2 lords. Yeah. Okay. So at this point we want to just assemble the team. Attack with the 5/5. There's an argument for playing this here, so we've got something we don't mind sacrificing, but we're doing okay. We're getting pretty close to a lethal attack. Shelf is a problem, for sure. You know, like, so they've like light up the stage draws pretty active now. The Maze bit helps us with that though. Go ahead and have a look-see. What's next on the list? Premium pool we played tapped. They're at 12. We make this attack, they have to block with 2 creatures. Now if they block a 5, they're taking 13. They trade here, they're taking quite a bit still. I think this is good. At the point where they're like having to trade 2 creatures away, like they leave the shelf in play. We can't really play around the shelf itself. We're still going to be able to sacrifice stuff to the Hexcatcher. I guess they're playing around the extra Hexcatcher as well, but yeah. That's tough. Alright, we got that. Nice. Alright. About to 1 drop. It's from the drawer as well. I think we can afford to ship this. Like, we have, like, Copter into stuff, but... yeah. We'll keep this. I'm gonna put the commuter back. You'll see me do this a reasonable amount. Like, we could cut a 1 drop. Okay. Kind of relying on finding the lands, so we'll keep the scout. You know what? I figured it. Waste not. No, it's just this one. We don't know yet. The name Azcats. It's not quite Aquazons. Okay. I don't want to take. Azcat is just the most annoying card for sure. Scout's the one that does the most for us, maybe. You know, probably decent. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Play this Acton and Scout out. Alright, I'll put Harold on the bin. I'd like to find either an interaction piece or like a Brutes. Oh, okay, yeah, this is waste not. Branch Walker. Good, we've not shown the pathway yet. Ahead of attack. Attack here. Could be in for a long one. Some interesting points. Wouldn't join during this company. I think we have to put in the bin because they're going to start discarding cards out of our hand. We really need to draw a line as fast as possible. If we had it, like, versus specifically Go Blank. Stocking up on collector companies is like, pretty bad. We're just going to eventually lose the cards. Whereas, like, maybe a normal more like a Trodak wouldn't be that worried. Alright, we have options here. We've got to make this appear, so we should just, like, alright, play it cool. Come into the red zone. You put a counter, draw a card. Okay, yeah, that's what it is here. The best background in the format costs 5. It's a nice little break. Then we've got to kind of have something. There's going to be a turning one, but I'm going to have to let this race not resolve. I don't want to sacrifice one of the creatures. I'll disappear the duress though. So I would really, really, really like to draw a land this turn. That's what I'm saying. Okay. That's not as good. You have the option to like come in and say go. I don't love that. If we play the Kamina, they're now kind of in a position where they need to wrath us. It's unlikely they're going to be able to wrath us and discard the cards out of our hand. So we've got a bit of time. And they are at 6. There's a decent amount of pressure. At 10, with the tome finally triggering. But yeah. How yeah, 2 separate abilities and there's a trigger ability for 4 counters. Alright, no 5th land, but there's a Shieldred. Let's draw. Okay. Alright, we're gonna main phase the Hexcatcher. Give this thing unblockable. Yeah. This is going to be a bit of a weird one. They've got 2 cards left in hand. We can take 1 draw step off of the Shield Red and not feel too bad. We'll be able to cash these in for 3 cards. Bit awkward. If they wrath away the Shield Red, are we fine with that? Push here can resolve. Oh, they have oh no, okay. Need the cabin. This time we do have the basic island. It's interesting. We can make them pay 1 more for push there, and it kind of is appealing in a way. So I am gonna do this. Alright, we're taking some damage. They're at 9. We have a Lord plus company. Like, so it's the Lord lethal. Lord here is 3, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna go Lord, make the Camino blockable. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put them to 2. You give it 1 more turn? Seems so bad. You fire off company maybe. Does it play around a removal spell as well? My main phase this. Colossal Owl. Alright. Make this unblockable. Back with these 2. Alright. Yeah, it's like we can't afford to play. Like maybe it's not worth trying to play around a removal spell. That's the worst things if they have. They'll attack with the Shield Red. I'm gonna block with the Scout. Is if they have Meat Hook. They have the cover up. Yeah, there is. We didn't actually have. We didn't have actual lethal with the Tidebinder, but it would have been better if we properly. We're at 10. You should still get to kind of rebuild a little bit. You say go. We got a 10. They have the castle. Castle draw lets them. Okay, with duress, they know what we have, but it means they can castle now. Draw a card, they get on 12. It means they're not dead at the moment. What do they hit? So they're on 11. Sorry, not 12. Yay. Yeah, if we'd held the company. This is a weird one, because they're literally not dead on this board. They're dead the turn after, because I don't want to get the life of the children. But, hey. Alright. Yeah, I was a testament to don't just run the collectible company gamble. We'll keep this. Opponent on some kind of Giganta deck. Maybe red, maybe heroic. They're thinking about it though. Alright, cool. Yeah, it's like, hey, we have like we don't have lethal with the Mistbinder. We're like kind of close to lethal with the. Let me run this out. Who shocked this? I think so. I'd rather point at this than a bunch of other things. Yeah. Not limited to or excluding my face. Yeah, it looks like a Taka Red, or more likely not a Taka but Slick Shot. You can play Taka's Command in the Slick Shot, but the Gruul Taka. This deck is still very solid. You know to play this as some removal, some load to actually run this Mistbinder out yet. Despite potential upsides, we do need to like clock as fast as possible though. So we'll try and most in play. This will go in the graveyard. We don't have great ways to deal with Sludge with Show Off. It is a triggered ability, so you can stop it with and turn it off with Binder. There you go. I remember the names of the cards sometimes. Yeah, between like Monstrous Rage, Blossoming Defenses, stuff like that, we might just get ran down very quickly by Show Off in the air. Also depends on whether they care about our creatures or not. If they don't care about our creatures, they can just like play a bunch of burn at our face. Oh, they are playing Dark Command. Okay, nice. Shouts out. We basically we're on like a one-turn clock here. This is tough. They only need to cast a couple of spells. The problem is we can't block this. There's no real action we can take here. We want to try and present Lethal next turn, so I think yes, we type Binder. Maybe miss Binder. The closest to like finding Lethal. So if we hit the fact that like none of these are like another 1-mana spell is really worrying as well, to be honest. I say that, but one of them is a 1-mana spell. Maybe it's surely a Monstrous Rage, right? You don't think so? Alright. So there are a bunch of things that can have that just kill us. We just kind of played to have it out, which is them to not have anything. We need to like have them not have anything, us to draw 2 mana Lord, and then we can animate Mutable and kill, I think. No blocks. 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, Monstrous Rage. Any like 1 burn spell or 2 cards. Blossoming Defense. You need 1 more spell. We have 1 more spell. I think we've got 1 more spell. I think it's over for us. Yeah, it is. Alright. Okay. Alright, this will probably be... Alright, I think this will probably be the last match here. Currently 3-1. Maybe we'll go ahead and keep this. Given that we're probably not going to play another 1-drop until turn 3 at least, we're going to play the Scout first to try and find a land. Opponent just making some living decisions. Alright, hit a land. I'm just running out of Copter and seeing what's going on turn 3. Templar Mystery. Could it be the Explorer Lotus Field player? Alright, we don't have... Let's see, if they have Arboreal Grazer, we can't interact with that anyway. We just make the Copter here. I guess specifically Arboreal Grazer is like... Okay. Alright, so this turn we want to have access to this X-Mage. And play this on blue and cast a Herald off of it. In theory, Mistway Spy also has some other tags, but it kind of just doesn't. But, hey. Like, sort of tags. I assume they're playing Lotus Field here. It's possibly going to be... Like, this is probably the... It's the most likely thing. It could also be, yeah, I don't know actually. I think it's low still. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of the spy. We'll crash in for 4 and then hold up the hex catcher. It kind of like sounds like a growth spiral as well. If you are interested in Lotus Field and how you can play it on Arena without hidden strings, then you have a couple of videos out on that. So hey, check those out. Well, go ahead. Okay. I wonder what that was. Alright, Sanctum. I can't be Sanctum going. I'm gonna flash this in. Opponent's doing some weird stuff, and so I want to get them dead as fast as possible. Yeah, it is a Lotus Field. Okay. This being an instant is I mean, really good for Lotus Field, but okay. It's still like gonna be in a pretty rough time playing through the bench, but yeah. We forgo company to have the time binder up, which might be relevant. Well, we will see. But we're gonna be able to present lethal either way. I think I do take action here. Yeah, we'll just got the branch walker. Fine. Just in case we hit a different counter spell. I can make disappear is probably better than the time binder here. Not like we're gonna time binder a field or something. Okay, so unless they're playing fog effects, I think they're pretty dead. You really do still need 2 Lotus Fields in play. And unless they have a way to kind of interact with us a little bit, it's going to be a tough task to get that done without dying with some done. Okay, Lear's pretty interesting. Do anything for them now. Let's just keep it up. Okay, yeah, fair. We have 7 unblockable between the Smuggler's Copters and the... Yeah, alright, cool. Alright, a bit of a wrap-up. Deck has served us very well. We went 4 on 1 there in the rounds matches. Pretty great, pretty great. There's some interaction. We have, like, hey, the main disappears, the Tidebinders, the Hexcatcher. You've got, like, a decent amount of interaction. Some of that's repeatable as well. Our clock is a bit questionable at times. Like, hey, we're relying on, like, hitting a number of laws and things. Kamina is fine. We didn't actually see Deep Root Pilgrimage, which is unfortunate. It's one of like the payoff cards. But the shell itself is really, really, really good. The deck itself is really, really, really good. And there's like a decent amount of customizability as well. Like if you want to play some of the other cards, there are options there to customize as well. And specifically, the way I've built this deck is to be good in best of 1. This is what my main deck would look like if I was going to play like an RCQ and Pioneer, and then I would have some alternate options, like the Mistcaller in the sideboard to board into for the specific matchups, rather than having them in the main deck. Like, yeah, you might hit the creativity to transmogrify opponent where they're really good, but it's actually like these are on the whole just better and making my deck more consistent. That's kind of the way I want to construct. And then, hey, like, we're not going to be chopping and changing that many cards anyway. Like, the core of the deck has to be fairly straightforward. Because of Collected Company, we can board some out, but generally you don't want to bring in too many instances of sorceries. And so having the creatures to chop and change is a reasonable way to approach sideboarding, I think. Anyway, the deck is really, really good. I would definitely recommend it. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, subscribe, share the video around to anybody you think would be interested. I've been streaming recently over on twitch.tv/RevTCG there as well. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace out.